What up, though, everybody? What's going on? This is your boy Tay Biz. What's going on with you? All right. We are back in the building, back into the swing of things on this Friday night. Some people just got paid. Some people are already out shopping, and some people at the crib chilling. Nevertheless, we are here on this Friday night. It is good to see She Lee in the building. What up, Doe? What up, Doe? It's so good to see you. So good to see you back in the building. So good to see you back in the building. I see that your message about your husband, definitely gonna be praying for him, and making sure that we go to God for him and for you to give you strength to assist and help him. And just be encouraged, be encouraged because it's gonna all work out. And hopefully God give you the strength to continue to support him and to take care of him. But it's so good to see you. So good to have you in the building. One more time for Sheely, y'all. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. All right, we have something to talk about tonight. We have been shying away a little bit from the Mickey Steins case because frankly, nothing's going on right now with that case. It's still in discovery. It's still in, we don't even have a trial date yet. We don't have, you know, any type of information yet. I don't know. The last thing that I remember of the Mickey Steins case is that the prosecution wanted to do a change of venue. I have not seen an update about that as of yet. So right now, the Mickey Steins case is pretty much on a hold. Again, that case is going to be one that we definitely going to be following on this channel. Again, I have the playlist for Mickey Steins case on this channel. So if you go to my playlist tab, you will see a lot of the you'll see the Sean Mickey Steins playlist, and it's something else. This whole case is something else. Shout out to Biz Nation coming in the building. As you come in, go ahead and put hashtag Biz Nation. Go ahead and put hashtag Biz Nation in the building. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see you in the building saying, hey, everyone. That's what's up. That's what's up. So good to see you in the building. So good to see you in the building. I'm going to try to say your name. Is that Shanikia? Am I saying that correct? Put a one in the chat if I'm saying that correctly. Is that Shanikia Young? I'm trying to figure out why YouTube is showing the hashtag, showing the ad name, the tag names, and not showing your actual display names. It's kind of crazy that they're doing that. But hopefully I said your name correctly. I don't want to butcher your name. I understand how that feels when you get your name butchered. My real name gets butchered often. So trust me. Shanika. Okay, Shanika. Sorry about that. Shanika in the building. Okay, cool. Because I want to get to know my peoples. Man. So excuse the mistake for the love. The I is silent. Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. We are in the building. Listen. Shout out to Cat Not Williams again, man. I was in the chat earlier. I was showing Cat some love, and she mentioned the channel and always rock out for your boy. So shout out to Cat. I know she might be coming in a little bit later. She always promote, she always make sure that she promote the channel and promote what I got going on. And so the live tonight had to do it because we have been covering and talking about lately. We have been talking about the case with the Tempes, Monique Tepe and Spencer Tepe, who were murdered in their home on December the 30th, between the hours of 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And the alleged suspect, or the suspect now, who has now been charged and indicted with 4 counts of aggravated murder and 1 count of aggravated burglary. Also with those counts is a firearm charge as well that goes along with these particular charges because of the fact that he decided to use allegedly a suppressor along with burglarizing the house, and also getting aggravated murder and aggravated burglary as well. So the burglary goes with the murder case, the murder charges. And so according to the chief of police, Elaine Bryant, she said that they were able to, without a shadow of a doubt, know that the weapon that was in that Michael McKee had in his apartment matches the ballistics of the gun casings and shells that they found on the premises of the home. This occurred again end of the year. However, prior to that, a few weeks before, on December the 6th, there was a Big Ten championship game, Indiana versus Ohio State. And so the Tempes came to Indiana to see Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. And during halftime, there was a disturbance that didn't sit right in with Monique Tepe, and she left the scene of the game and went back to the hotel because of something that was related to, according to witnesses and close friends, related to Michael McKee, her ex-husband. All right. We also found out that in June of 2025, we also found out that there was a clerical error in their divorce hearing. For some reason, they already had been divorced since 2017. 8 years later, in June of 2025, a clerical error occurred where there was a notice for a scheduled hearing for Monique Tepe and Michael McKee concerning their divorce that already took place in June of 2017. With this clerical error, it is possible, according to reports and according to a lot of people who work in the court system, it is very possible and likely that some type of papers or some type of actual papers with information on it went out to their residences. Okay. And so the hearing was scheduled for September of 2025. 3 months after the scheduled hearing is when this occurred, when this actual murder occurred. Shout out to She Lee once again, sending a $2 cash up. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Let me show you some love. Let me show you some love for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow, that's awesome. Look at you coming back and just showing nothing but mad love. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that for sure. Oh man, that caught me off guard, y'all. I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. Let me make sure I put She Lee in here. Let me go ahead and do this. Make sure that I show love. Always supportive of the show. Like, always have been supportive of the show. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So it says YouTube wouldn't let me put in the chat. Oh, that's strange. All right. Okay. There's a lot of strange things going on with YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all. We are live. We are definitely live. We are definitely live on this. All right. So I want to go ahead and get into this live tonight. Again, the murder occurred 3 months after there was supposed to be a scheduled hearing of their divorce, and then 3 weeks before the murder actually took place, Monique Tepe was at a Big Ten championship game with her husband, family, friends, all that kind of stuff. And something occurred and it involved her ex-husband. That's the words that came out of her mouth verbatim at the hotel. And there was ring camera footage or ring cameras in the neighborhood that spotted Michael McKee walking around, loitering around, trespassing around their home. Okay. We're going to get into the full affidavit because in the beginning of this case, the affidavit was like in part. It was certain parts of the document that was not out. I think it was like one page or something like that. The other page is I have the full affidavit. It's only a 2-page affidavit. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. And but it has some very interesting details. All right. It has some very interesting details. So Sheely says, wait, did Michael not want to get a divorce? Absolutely. He did not want to get a divorce. According to the reports, Michael McKee did not want to get a divorce from Monique Tepe. All right. And so this is what's looming around is the idea that there is something that probably triggered him. And they're saying that whatever the trigger was, again, he had a very possessive, energy with her, even when they were married. There are certain things that we're going to get into tonight. There are certain things that she alleges that, he was abusive in a lot of different ways, sometimes on physically, but mostly verbally and things of that nature. But he has done both. And so and not just her saying it, but people who have witnessed their relationship and their marriage before, they have come out and have said it to reporters privately and things of that nature. So the reputation of Michael McKee is that he is a very possessive type of man. So we're going to get into the affidavit and everything like that. But before we get into the affidavit, we're going to have what we call the icebreaker, which is something that we did. The icebreaker is something that we did. What was it? Last time we went live, where we have a topic to break the ice. Well, this topic is going to break the ice right into this case. All right, so let's get it. All right. This young lady right here is Michael McKee's ex-girlfriend. She is going on TikTok. She's been on TikTok, recorded this on TikTok, talking about her experience with Michael McKee and also giving us an idea of why she did not want to be with him anymore. Okay. Interesting thing is that when I watched this video, I was trying to hear something of the nature of some type of abuse or something of that nature to see if there was some type of pattern. However, it is quite possible that maybe she was not with him long enough to even experience that. She could have left prior to that even coming to fruition. So that's kudos to her, of course, for that, if that is the case. All right. So I don't think she goes on to say how long they were together or anything like that. I don't think it was a long lasting type of thing of that nature like he had with Monique Tepe. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a listen to her talk about her experience with Michael McKee. Now, I want to let you know that this video, the speed on it is a little bit high. I cannot adjust it for some reason. I tried. I'm trying to look for it. I don't know if TikTok gives you the ability to do that, but I haven't seen an option for it. So if we have to, stop here and there, we will. All right. But this is Michael McKee's ex-girlfriend. All right. She goes by, I think her TikTok name is Shrummy. So it's Srummy, Shrummy. That's her TikTok name. All right, here we go.
time. So last Sunday, I get a text message from an old coworker that linked this article about a Michael David McKee, and my heart dropped because that's one of my ex-boyfriends, which is pretty insane. I was floored. So just wanted to hop on and talk a little bit about the whole situation. So I dated him around the end of 2017 through a good chunk of 2018, I think. So what I
Okay, end of 2017 to a good chunk of 2018. Okay, all right. What up, though, Abundance?
remember of him is he was just like a nice guy. Like he was quiet, introverted, which there's nothing wrong with that. He was a general surgery resident at the time where I was doing my residency as well. And he was really nice. Like there was no issues with him. He was always kind and respectful with me. I've been over his house. It's pretty crazy that you never know someone. But long story short, he did tell me a little bit about his divorce at the time. So, and again, I want to preface this with this is his side of the story and what he spoke to me. This is not truth. This is obviously very biased. But what he told me was that one day he came home from residency and that Monique had vanished. Like she took everything. She left the house completely empty and also took their dog. He was just left very stunned because he didn't see this coming, and he was like completely devastated. So again, this is his side of the story, his thing. Not even sure if it's truth, but I do remember him saying that to me. He also, another thing that I remember is that he didn't really talk about his parents. He did tell me he was adopted by an older couple, and he just like they were good parents, but he just never talked about them. He never talked to them. I would call my mom like every day. We have a great relationship, but he was just much more reserved. He never really, when I asked him more, he just didn't really want to talk about it. So I kind of left it at that. This is him. This is us celebrating New Year's with a bunch of my friends and family, and this is me right here, and that's him, which is crazy. He also has been to my family home. That's him right there. This is me and my family members. But it's honestly shocking, and I'm grateful that the Lord protected me from moving forward in that relationship. The reason why it ended was I honestly wasn't feeling it. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he was just kind of boring. And he was very much like kind of surface level. There was no, like, I couldn't go deep with him. And yeah, that's why I couldn't form like a deep connection with him because of that. Like, I think he had a wall up where he just like could not go deep with.
All right, so she's saying no deep connection with this man. Surface level, no deep connection, no closeness. She said the word boring. Okay, Michael McKee was boring. Yeah, so that's one word she used, but also she said he was a nice guy, right? And so a lot of times nice people can have a side to them that you don't expect, you know. And so he's with her long. I thought, I mean, she said end of 2017, a chunk of 2018, because their divorce, Monique and Michael's divorce, was finalized in June of 2017. So that same year he got with her, and then some of 28, a lot of 2018, or a chunk of 2018 is what she said. So um very quick on the response. I mean, of course, he did not want the divorce, so he was trying to do the rebound thing fairly fast. However, we're going to get into the affidavit because it goes a little bit deeper into what potentially their marriage was kind of like about, especially how he was in the marriage. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit deeper into that, but this is I just wanted to get into this real quick.
Like any conversations really. So that's why it ended. And I moved up north, and the long distance thing didn't work out either. I'm praying for Monique and the Tepe family and their children. But I don't know, I'm shocked. Also,
So that is the girlfriend, or the ex girlfriend, of Michael McKee.
I age like a banana, so don't judge me.
Uh-oh. And so we're going to get into the affidavit here. Man, there's so much stuff we can get into tonight. So much stuff to get into tonight. All right. So I want to make sure I get this screen full here. I want to make sure you are able to see this. Please let me know if you're able to see this. Or I could come down here like this, drop this down here, right? All right. So this was filed January the 11th, 2026. This is the affidavit of in support of probable cause. And so let's go ahead and get into this and let's read this here. It says, I, Russ Weiner, do hereby swear or affirm that I have the following cause to believe the individual named committed the alleged offenses for the reasons stated in this affidavit in support of probable cause. I have personal knowledge of the facts listed in the statement of facts as I was involved in the underlying investigation and or arrest. So this is the person who was involved with the arrest of Michael McKee. All right. Come down this way. See if you can see this better that way. Okay. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, here we go. Okay. It says here, on December 30th, 2025 at 9:57 a.m., Columbus Police Patrol officers were dispatched to 1411 North 4th Street on a check on the well-being of a Dr. Spencer Tepe who had not shown up to work. Now, let's pause right there for a second. Even though that is true, the first actual wellness check that the police did was to the wrong address. Let's be clear here. They made a wellness check to the wrong address. They knocked on the door. They didn't see anything suspicious. And that's the reason why they left the first time, because they was at the wrong house. The chief, Elaine Bryant, in an interview, said this specifically to the reporter who was interviewing her concerning the beginning stage of this case. Okay. So they went to the wrong house. There is body cam footage of a police officer going to the wrong house to do the wellness check on the first 911 call. Okay. And on another live, I'm going to try to get into the 911 calls. They're kind of extensive. And it's going to take some time to kind of like break this thing down a little bit. All right. But that is how this happened first. So this is the second wellness check call, or maybe this is the second wellness check where they went to the right home. All right. We're right here. Officers arrived and found Dr. Tepe and his wife, Monique Tepe, deceased inside, suffering from gunshot wounds. We're going to get into the autopsy reports tonight. 2 minor children were found inside the home unharmed. Those children are ages 3 and 1. All right. So just to give you an idea of middle of the night type of, occurrence where he comes into the home, or allegedly he comes into the home, and he doesn't make a sound, doesn't make a noise or anything. Not enough to wake the kids up. Right. Again, he had a suppressor or a silencer on his gun. All right. This is what they're reporting. Columbus Fire Medic number 7 responded and pronounced both victims deceased at 10:11 a.m. Columbus Police Homicide Unit Team 2 was advised, responded, and initiated an investigation. All right. So they initiated the investigation. Early on in the investigation, detectives were advised by identifiable friends and family of Monique Tepe that Monique had told them her ex-husband, Dr. Michael David McKee, had been abusive and had made numerous threats on her life during and after their marriage. Okay. So during and after their marriage, identifiable friends and family went to told police that he had been abusive and numerous threats was made on her life before, during, and after their marriage. Okay. A identifiable witness told detectives that Monique Tepe had shared an allegation against Michael McKee of forced, unwanted sex and of strangulation. Another identifiable witness told detectives that Michael D. McKee had told Monique that he could unalive her at any time and would find her and buy the house right next to her, that she will always be his wife. Okay, this is information coming from close friends and family. All right, close friends and family. Okay. Now we're gonna get into this, man. Okay, because it says here that witness told detectives about the abuse. Another identifiable witness told detectives about something that Michael McKee did. He forced unwanted sexual activity and also threatened that he could unalive her at any time. Okay. During the investigation, detectives were able to identify a suspect through neighborhood video surveillance, and we're going to get into that too. This suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after the homicides. Okay. Now remember, we're talking about a gentleman who lives in Illinois, Rockford, not too far from Chicago, drives all the way to Ohio in Winland Park, Ohio, which is a suburb. Okay. More than once, because again, he was there, allegedly there, during the Big Ten championship game when they were in Indiana. They were not at home. So this is, give me 1 second. All right. So this is interesting how the level of the eagle eye level of focus that he had or allegedly had with to do this is absolutely insane. He'd been there more than once. He was there during the Big Ten championship game, and then he was there 3 weeks later to actually commit the alleged act. All right. Unbelievable stuff here. Okay. Neighborhood video surveillance. This suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after the homicides. Video of this vehicle and very distinct features allowed detectives to identify both a stolen Ohio license as well as an Arizona license being displayed on it at different times. Okay. So he was swapping license plates on this vehicle at different times. Further searches showed this vehicle to be associated with a past address of Michael McKee. Okay. The vehicle was associated with the past address of Michael McKee. I'm telling you, this evidence is beyond damning. You know, this is beyond damning evidence of his so far. So far of the evidence, it doesn't look like a defense is possible, but we'll see once the trial comes up. As well as his current work address in Rockford, Illinois. So he had his past address and his current Rockford, Illinois address associated with this vehicle. Additional video was obtained and showed McKee in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicides. All right. Now, here we go with this here. Detectives also recovered video of the same suspect entering the curtilage of 1411 North 4th Street on December 6, 2025, and exiting a few hours later when the Tepes were away. This is the night, this is the day of the Big Ten championship. These dates are consistent with video recovered of the silver SUV and are consistent with dates which Michael D. McKee was not on the schedule at St. Anthony's Hospital. Okay. So he was not on schedule at the hospital. So he can't say he was at work because he wasn't scheduled there. And also, the dates are consistent with video recovered of the silver SUV and consistent with dates which Michael D. McKee was not on the schedule at the hospital. On January 9th, 2026, detectives seized the silver SUV bearing the Arizona temp tag from the lot at St. Anthony's Hospital, Rockford, Illinois, where Michael McKee works. Detectives noticed fresh scrape marks on the window where the sticker, which had been on the vehicle prior to the homicides, had been hastily removed. Okay. During the time of the homicides, Michael McKee's phone had been left at St. Anthony Hospital in Rockford, Illinois, and showed no activity for approximately 17 hours from December 29th, 2025 until after 12 p.m. on December 30th, 2025. Most recently, while Monique and Spencer Tepe were at the Big Ten Championship game in Indiana on December 6th, 2025, with several other couples, Monique went back to her hotel room early in the second half. When identifiable friends asked Spencer why Monique had left the game, he told them she was upset about something involving her ex-husband and was going back to the hotel. What happened here on this date? What happened? What happened that caused Monique Tepe to leave the game, right, and to go back to the hotel? So why did Monique or Spencer Tepe call the police during the Big Ten championship game? Why isn't there some type of paper trail that we can go by, okay, that we can go by to say that this man's patterns are not just accusational, but they're also, you can prove that he has this particular pattern to do these particular things? Well, I find it very interesting. And a lot of times when people are in an abusive relationship, it's not just cut and dry all the time, you know, like you can just call the police, you can just make a police report. That's true, you can. But there's another side to it. You don't know what he said in the marriage. According to this affidavit, he was abusive in the marriage too. He forced sexual activity in the marriage, okay? According to this affidavit, according to the identifiable friends that told the police about this particular situation. And so sometimes it's like you want to say to a person, oh, you should just do this and do that. But there are times where things are so bad, threats are so real that people or a person can be afraid to do that because they're afraid for their life, you know? So what the girlfriend said, let's go back to the girlfriend. She said that Michael McKee told her, when I got back to the crib, she left and took the dog. Baby, I'm a dog. I'm a mutt. Took the mutt too. She dipped. She dipped. Now, this is a vascular surgeon here. You got to have a calculated mind of some sort. This is a very, and we learned through Trakisha about the My Chart and how you can have, if you have an account with them and you're a doctor or whatever, you can find out information that you want to find out. So he's been accused of stalking her for all this time in some way, some shape or form. I'm just curious as to why there's no particular, at least one police report or a restraining order of some sort, something to show on paper like this, even if it doesn't do anything, at that moment, but it will do something in instances like this where there's a stalking that leads to some type of a murderous situation here, which is super unfortunate. And so the children but not, we don't know the case with them. We don't know if they're with their like siblings or like their Monique's or siblings or Spencer siblings or whatever, but they're not going to be able to say anything to like some cases where children may have to get involved, where the police officer or investigator may have to question them, in a very childlike type of way. Sometimes officers will do that. So, but I'm just curious as to why if there's a Ring camera on the house, if you saw something on your Ring camera in your phone during the game, why wasn't a call made, right? And not even that. The kids is 3 and 1, so they are, man, they fresh, right? Basically, I remember I just saw a episode of Final Twist, Harlan Coben Final Twist on Paramount Plus. It comes on, I believe, Wednesdays, and there was a situation similar to this where there was a murder where the husband got shot with a shotgun, but his new wife laying next to him did not get shot. And of course, they thought it was the wife that set it up and everything like that. And come to find out, it was his ex-wife's boyfriend who shot him. And she talked him into doing it, but she signed an immunity agreement with the police, and she was able to get her daughter back at a certain time because it was a situation between her and her ex-husband and the kids. And there was a daughter. She was like 6 or 7 years old, and she was able to identify, say, yes, my door creaked. This, she was able to give some type of information of detail to the police at 6 or 7 years old. In this particular case, the kids are so young, the articulation of the 3-year-old would not be efficient enough to say, hey, we saw, or I saw something, or I heard something. I'm pretty sure those children were asleep. I'm pretty sure those children were asleep. And, if the articulation of the child is on point, then maybe that's possible. But, I just, in my mind, I just kind of doubt it in my mind. Starfish and Coffee, what up, though, says the husband refused to take her complaint seriously, so she left the game mad, and the crazy ex was stalking her. The husband refused to take her complaint seriously. Is that was reported? I did not see that report. That's interesting. That's very interesting, though. What up, though, Cat? Oh, my guess is, we're talking about 2, and that's very possible. We're also talking about the fact, too, that, this dude has been doing some stuff for a minute. Like, this is not like, oh, the Big Ten game was the first time that there has been, the identifiable friends have said plenty of times that this guy is constantly like legit on the stalking level with her. All right. And even and I believe I read somewhere where even someone in the camp of either Monique or Spencer, they're kind of cool with Michael and have said and talked and said some things before. So, you know, this is very, very interesting how this case is coming to be, or this newfound details are coming to be. All right. We're going to get to the autopsy real quick here. Okay. Move myself out the way. Let's blow this up. All right. So let me go ahead and drop this. All right. Oh, that's not in the way. Okay, cool. It's not in the way of anything. All right. So the date of death. This is Monique Tepe. This is the actual autopsy here. Now, I actually went to the Franklin County Coroner's website and requested this, and they sent it to me. All right. Now normally I was on my lunch break doing work because I've been trying to find the autopsy of Monique Tepe and Spencer Tepe, because I'm like, okay, I'm wondering what happened, how it happened, right? And they said, on the website, they're like, all I had to do was fill out their names and then the date of the death, which was December 30th, and I'm able to remember that vividly because that's actually my birthday. And so I'm like, okay, let me see what happens. I'm curious. And they said to me that it says on the website, like, it may take up to 7 days to get this report. I got this report in about 7 minutes, literally. Okay. My email went right up, boom, boom, twice, like in a row, back to back. And I'm like, okay, great. Because people are talking about the autopsy documents are being unsealed and all that kind of stuff, but no one has ever I never seen this document. So we actually got the report from the coroner's office. All right. So this is not somebody uploading it somewhere else where they can manipulate this or nothing. This is straight from them. All right. Date of death is December the 30th, 2025, approximately 10:11. The date of the exam is 12/31, 2025. Time of exam is 08:52. All right. Okay, so we're in Franklin, Ohio here. Government issued ID. Erica Armstrong is the medical examiner or the MD, the pathologist for this particular autopsy. Okay, the assistant is Nikki Carini or Carini. It seemed like it might be Carini. All right. Autopsy procedure was full. The date of birth of Monique Tepe is 1986. And she was 39 years of age. All right. Cause of death says gunshot wounds of head, trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. The manner of death is homicide. Okay. I believe that they were stating that one of the bullets went through or in the jawline of hers as well. And I mean, it was just brutal. It was just very, very brutal, man. Gunshot wounds, 9 of head, trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. Perforating wounds, indeterminate range of right zygomatic region, like chest, lateral right trunk, right forearm, right hand, and left humeral region. So they shot 3 times in the chest. Visceral injuries, right and left lungs and right and left cardiac ventricles. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this right here. Hemopericardium, 30 milliliter, right hemothorax, 400 milliliter, and left hemothorax, 650 milliliters. Skeletal injuries, right zygomatic fracture, maxillary perforation, rib perforation and fracture, and comminuted left humerus fracture. I'm struggling, y'all. Excuse me. Perforating and penetrating injuries associated with gunshot wounds of left upper extremity, intercostal, and other soft tissue injuries, visceral pallor, recovery of bullets, and bullet fragment. One bullet fragment was in the left humerus fracture site. Abrasions, chest and left forearm, elbow. We also have Spencer's as well, and some of these shots are similar. Contusion, left calf, toxicological findings consistent with prescribed medication regimen. So we do have the toxicology report as well. All right. Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking too. Like, since he's a surgeon, vascular surgeon, I'm pretty sure he knew exactly where to shoot, and where to do this. Like, at what place. Like, this is very, 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 very crazy here. Very, very crazy here. Let's get to the external examination here. It says the body is viewed initially clothed as photographically depicted, clad in a long sleeve shirt, short sleeve shirt, brassiere, underwear, and socks. On body, jewelry inclusive of yellow metal earrings, a yellow metal ring on the left forefinger, that's her wedding ring, and a yellow metal necklace with 2 yellow metal pendants are noted and also photographically documented. The clothing and jewelry are removed, collected, and processed according to established protocol. Upon removal of the clothing, 2 bullets are dislodged and are photographically documented where they came to rest on the autopsy floor along the left side of the autopsy table upon which the decedent lays. The extracorporeal bullets are collected, photographed, packaged, labeled, and sealed according to established protocol. Wow. The body is that of a well-developed, well-nourished female whose appearance is compatible with the reported age and race. The body weighs 151 pounds and is 69 inches in length. The body is cold to the touch. There is a firm rigor of the facial muscles and extremities. The lividity is posterior and blanches easily. Identifying tags, bracelets, or labels are checked and correct. Identification is confirmed via comparison to government issued identification. The hands are bagged and further processed according to established protocol. The scalp hair is black with occasional gray strands and long. The irides are brown. The corneas and sclera are unremarkable. The ears are pierced. There is drainage of body fluid from the nose and mouth with dried blood rivulets overlying the left nose and face. Wow. A dried blood rivulet extends from a wound on the right cheek over the right forearm and from a wound behind and below the left ear. So I'm thinking it sounds like a bullet went through the cheek and out the back. Am I gathering that correctly? It says wound on the right cheek over the right forearm and from a wound behind and below the left ear. So it seems like it went straight through. Sheesh. The nose and lips are otherwise unremarkable. Wow. The teeth are natural and in good condition. The chest and breast are symmetrical with no palpable masses, and dry blood rivulets extend from a cluster of wounds of the mid to right perimedian chest. Patchy, moist, and dry blood smears blood on are on, the torso and extremities. The abdomen is flat. The pubic hair has been previously shaved, and the external genitalia, anus, and the perineum are otherwise unremarkable and atraumatic. 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 I'm sorry. The extremities are well developed. There is deformity of the left upper extremity, scattered, small, brown, navy are of the upper extremities, dark purple nail polish is on the toenails, body fluid drains from wounds of the left upper posterolateral trunk with staining of the back. Ancillary studies. X-ray imaging is performed, revealing 2 projectiles and 1 projectile fragment of the torso, mid-left lateral torso region, and the left upper extremity. Wow. So external and internal evidence of recent therapy, none. Says external and internal evidence of recent injury, head, trunk, and bilateral upper extremities. Multiple 9 gunshot wounds are present and are described by convention with the body in standard anatomic position. It says a wound. Okay, so this is the entrance wound here. A gunshot wound is of the superior right zygomatic region, right cheek. So the entrance wound, the wound consists of a 3/8 inch round defect with eccentric brown marginal abrasion. Widest at the 1 to 6 o'clock aspect. The wound is located 4 inches from the top of the head and 3 inches from the anterior midline. There is no visible fouling or stippling. After perforating this subcutaneous tissues, the hemorrhagic wound path continues through the right zygomatic bone with palpable fracture, maxilla, and the posterior left mandibular joint. Okay. With palpable fracture dislocation. This is very, very malicious and very, very intentional. So this is the aggravated part of it, the premeditation that goes along with this entire thing. The exit wound. Okay, so the exit wound on the posterior left mandibular region inferior to the earlobe is a 3/8 inch and 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch irregular defect located 7 inches from the top of the head and 3.5 inches from the anterior midline. So that's what I was thinking. So the entry wound was the cheek, and then it went out of the back, front to back, right to left, downward. Jeez, man. The entrance wounds of gunshot wounds number 2, 3, and 4 are clustered on the chest, and their respective paths and exit points are in close proximity and thus are described together. So gunshot wound is of the right chest, entrance wound, right chest, 3 inches superior and medial to the right nipple is a 1/4 inch round defect with eccentric pink brown marginal abrasion. Widest to the 5 to 12 o'clock aspect. The wound is located 16 inches from the top of the head and 1.5 from the anterior midline. There is no visible fouling or stippling. Okay. Entry wound. This is the perimedian chest, 3/8 by 1/4 inch ovoid defect with eccentric brown marginal abrasion, widest to the 7 and 11 o'clock aspect. The wound is located 16 and 1/4 inch from the top of the head and ½ inch from the anterior midline. A faint area of purple contusion is adjacent to the left lateral margin. No visible fouling or stifling. The midline chest. This is the fourth wound. Entrance wound. The wounds consist of 1/4 inch round defect with eccentric brown marginal abrasion, widest at the 7 to 12 o'clock aspect. The wound is located 17 inches from the top of the head. There is no fouling or stifling as well. Paths of gunshot wounds 2, 3, and 4. After perforating the subcutaneous tissues and the hemorrhagic wound paths continue through the upper 1/4 of the left sternal edge. It says with the larger defect representing 2 side-by-side perforations and upper 1/3 of the left sternal edge. Perforating injuries along the hemorrhagic wound path are the right lower lobe of lung, pericardial sac, heart, anterior right ventricle, y'all, and superior left ventricle with transection of the left anterior descending coronary artery, left upper and left lower lobes of lung, and the left posterolateral, chest cavity, left fourth rib, left fifth rib, and left 4-5 intercostal tissue with fracture of the fifth rib. Associated with the wound paths is residual liquid cavity blood with hemopericardium, right hemothorax. Okay, so the blood is like in there, like it's filling in. It seems. It says the cavity, the liquid cavity. So all of this is he's doing all of this allegedly with a suppressor, silencer. Okay. This is so graphic, y'all, man. This is a trigger warning right now. Let me just put it down here. I'm sorry, I got to do it. Got to put the trigger warning right here. All right. This is going to be something that if you cannot stomach to hear these type of things, you can just hit the like button and and have a great evening. Okay. This is not something that you want to hear or see at all. Okay, so this is the full report here. I'm not going to go too much into this. I want to get into the toxicology here. All right. The toxicology report also has interesting stuff in here as well. Is this it here? Yes. So it seems like, and I was talking to my wife about this because she's really, well educated in the medicines and the body and all that kind of stuff. Like she do her thing with that. But she was telling, now this is the toxicology report of Monique Tepe, and Spencer Tepe toxicology report came back totally negative, nothing in the system at all, period. Okay. But in this, towards the bottom here, you see these medicines here, and my wife was giving me understanding on these medicines specifically deal with some type of anxiety at points. It deals with some type of antidepressants. It can also be due to depression or things of that nature. It could be, she was giving me some other things like they were saying something about like maybe attention deficit, you know, like ADHD. Certain types of these medicines are used for these type of things, symptoms. So she was also taking these medicines on the regular, you know, she was dealing with something, you know, and again, you know, going back to how come if Monique Tepe did not report anything, how come Spencer didn't report anything either? You know, and I saw that earlier Starfish Coffee was talking about men not taking threats seriously in these type of situations, you know, which has some truth in that, you know, because a lot of times people are like, oh, it's not that bad, it's gonna be okay, whatever. And it's like, no, that's not it. You know, obviously, this is the part that kind of trips me out a little bit. You had to have known, bro, that this woman was dealing with a guy that was off the chain, because just like he goes into a relationship and talks about his marriage, when a person gets divorced, they do, and they feel comfortable talking about it, they will give detail about what it is that caused them to either leave. And you know, you can't assume that what they're saying, that's their experience. You can't downplay that person's experience. And so, and just in pillow talk alone, you know, there had to have been some type of, you know, my ex-husband used to do this, my ex-husband used to do that, you know, like that that kind of talk can happen in pillow talk. And the fact that there is no type of urgency, I would say, from Spencer Tepe to take some charge, I would say, and let the police know, like, hey man, this dude keeps messing with my wife. She's been long gone. They got married in 2020. Monique Tepe and Spencer Tepe got married in 2020. Okay. And then they had two children from their marriage, you know. And this is the paper trail thing that I'm just trying to, I can't unwrap my head around it. There's no paper trail of or police calls, a visitation to the station to say, hey man, this guy keeps messing with my wife. You see what I'm saying? Like, that is something that if I knew that my lady was with someone who was stalking her or had stalking tendencies, as soon as there's an issue, we're gonna take care of this. We're gonna take care of this. Like, we're not about to just sit around and not do nothing. We about to take care of this. Something has to happen, right? So, in the midst of all of this going on, also to be taking some medications and things of this nature that affects you from a intangible perspective as well, it could cause some type of paranoia. It could cause something. You just never know. But I know I'm a husband. I can't sit by comfortably. My wife tells me her ex is bothering her, or he is, you know, messing with her, whether it be through Facebook, whether it be through phone, however he got it, and we're not doing nothing about this. That don't, no. No, fam. No, fam. That ain't what we do. No, we don't. Nah, I'm not. I don't think I can't compute that, you know. And so, with Starfish and Coffee saying that in the chat about, you know, men, and I know it was just a general statement, but men not taking threats seriously. Okay, it depends. I'm because I don't. One thing you can't do is threaten me, dog, or my people. You just can't. We don't take threats. We don't take them lightly. We don't play around like that. Now we talking about a man that has a woman that had 2 of his kids. Of course, he loves her. You can see it in the video that you've been seeing it all over the internet that their brother-in-law took. He was a discographer and everything. He was the photographer for them and all that. And they seem happy. Yes, they seem happy. And I'm like, all right. A lot of people are just talking about Monique Tepe simply because Michael McKee is the direct connection to her. I've always been thinking about what connection is Spencer in this to Monique when it comes to their relationship and how he has handled some of this type of stuff that she had to go through. Because it could be the case too that Spencer may have wanted to do something, and Monique Tepe kept saying to him, don't do anything, just let it go. I just don't want to deal with it. That can happen as well. Okay, 2 sides to every coin, the heads and the tails. That can happen as well. There are some women who refuse men's help. And I know that to be true in an experience that I've had before, where me and a friend of mine was trying to protect a young lady that was about to get beat up by a man at the store, and she got mad because we handled him. She got mad because we got him up off of her. She was like, don't hurt him, leave him alone. Like, but he was just hurting you. So, and I was younger at the time too, and that was a light bulb moment for me. Like, okay, there are some people who are addicted to chaos, and they can portray that they're tired of it, but they're also addicted to the chaos that come with it because it gives them some type of thrill, life, or something of that nature. And all I know is, as a husband, you can't tell me how to respond to this when it's affecting you, because what affects you affects me and affects us. So that experience that I had showed me that all the women do not have that unction to want to be protected. There are some women, and again, my man Kaz is right on it. There are some women that are used to a certain type of relationship, and that's what they go. That's what they cling to. And sometimes, when you're on the outside looking in and you want to be a help, sometimes the best help is to mind your business. Mind your business. See, this is the reason why in marriages everybody can't be involved in your marriage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't be involved in your marriage. Stop telling all your business. You married and you telling your friends all your business. If I'm the friend, if Monique Tepe is my friend and she's telling me what Michael McKee has done to her or does to her, and as a friend, I'm gonna be like, don't tell me, tell the police. I don't care how you feel. Tell the police. Why are you telling me? I can't do nothing for you. You need to tell the police. This is the best I can do for you. Let's go to the station right now. I'm your friend. I'll rock that. I'll go with you. I will go with you. You in danger? All right, you need to go to police. I'll go with you. He keeps, messaging me. He keeps doing this and the other. He keeps talking about our marriage. He keeps saying that he'll unalive me. He keeps saying that he will buy the house next door and I will always be his wife. He's so crazy. Let's get him up out of here. Right? Sometimes you have to take action. You got to take action. And this is the kind of stuff you have to take action with. I'm your friend. We're going to go get you some help. I'm gonna rock with you, but we're gonna have some common sense about this. I don't understand a group of friends who see the situation, know the situation, and they don't advise her to go to the police. Spencer Tepe doesn't make a report. I don't care. My wife can't tell me don't get involved. I'm involved. It's a wrap. You can't trump that. Again, always reference the bodyguard. Bodyguards are hired to protect you. And sometimes a man's direction is protection. And if you do not follow my direction, if I say don't go there because that area is dangerous and you go anyway, you have just neglected my protection. So then what happens is you get in trouble there, and who you call? The bodyguard. Bodyguard. Right? So if you able to take a man's provision, but not able to take his direction or word or things like then that's all you already set up to fail in that relationship. Because if my wife is saying something to me like, hey, this situation right here, it doesn't look good. Take another look at this. I'm telling you, it doesn't look good. And I take another look at it and I'm like, you know what? I feel you on that. I just took her observation, processed it for myself, and made the decision to be like, okay, I'm going to agree with her on this. And then she's right. Okay, so if she's right, that means that I made the right decision by listening to her. We're talking about husband and wife, y'all. We ain't talking about baby mamas and daddies shacking or just living together. We're talking about husband and wife. If you can't take your wife's advice or your husband's advice, something's wrong. And it's not a them problem. It might just be a you problem. And I just can't be the type of friend to sit here and watch you get stalked. And I don't say anything like, go to the police. At least say that. At least say that. They don't say anything. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Again, it could be a combination of things. Either they just did not get involved or she refused some help. It could be that too. But at the same time, I can't wrap my head around the fact that there is no police report, paper trail of any kind when it comes to Michael McKee. Now, the ex-girlfriend we saw in the icebreaker, she said he was a nice guy. You see how it could be anything. She was with him at the end of 2017 and a chunk of 2018. That's what she said, right? And he was a nice guy, but he was kind of boring, and I just wasn't feeling it, And she said, I'm so glad that the Lord protected me and I got up out of there. I'm like, yeah. And I'm wondering, was there behavioral patterns before they got married, Michael and Monique, and the friend saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like calves, bruh. No, not the man had, listen, the man has no prior convictions. Okay. There's not a restraining order attached to this man. There is not a, hey, this dude is abusive. There hasn't been any type of pattern that shows he's abusive. However, It's easy to hide in plain sight. It's easy to hide in plain sight, but not one police report of things that occurred. Instead, you tell your friends. I just cannot understand that community of friends she got. And I can't understand the fact that they didn't call the police and say, hey, this man is at our home right now. Can someone please go to our home and get him out of there? He is trespassing on our home. You have the Ring camera. The affidavit said the man was in there for 2 to 3 hours. Or around the curtilage of the house, the area, the sidewalk, you're around there for 2-3 hours while we're in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Cavs are saying their marriage only lasted 2 or 3 years, though, right? That's a red flag too, right? The marriage 2015 and it ended in 2017. The marriage ended literally in June of 2017. And then that's when we fast forward to June of 2025, where there's a clerical error for a scheduled hearing for their divorce, but their divorce is already finalized by a judge on June 18th of 2017, or June 17th of 2017. Sheely, talk to me, Sheely. You have kids and then put a restraining order on that man. Like, again, the way it's coming off, the way this case is coming off, is that Michael McKee is crazy. He stalks her. He's been a problem. So, I have a question. Okay. What triggered, thank you, Sheely, for setting me up. What triggered Michael McKee after 8 long years? What triggered it? At what point and what moment that occurred where he was triggered to do what he is being accused of doing? The motivation has always been an issue in this case. What triggered it? At what point, what moment? At what moment did something remind him and trigger him and say, hey, now I'm going to follow through with everything that I have threatened you with? Right. That's a good question. Did McKee have a relationship breakdown? According to some reporters, McKee did have a relationship. Again, this young lady that we saw on the TikTok in the icebreaker, she said that she had thought he was a nice guy. She thought he was a nice guy, but the relationship was kind of boring. He was kind of boring. He was very introverted. He did not go deep. He did not talk about himself in depth. He gave her a surface level of what the relationship was and how it ended, where he come home and Monique just took everything, including took the dog. And he don't go deeper into no details about how he felt about it, about what he did to try to win her back, if he tried to win her back. Good question. Did he have a breakdown? We never ever know. Here's the coroner's report. Okay. I'm gonna hide this. Here's the coroner's report, finding of facts and verdict. In compliance with the Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 313. Hey, 313, what up, though? The coroner's report, I'm sorry, and findings of fact and verdict are supplied. All right. Ignatius Sabatersky, father. Okay. That's her next of kin. Immediate cause: gunshot wounds of head, trunk, and extremities with visceral and skeletal and soft tissue injuries. Seconds to minutes. Wow, seconds to minutes. The manner of death is homicide. The autopsy was full. New Year's Eve morning was when the body was examined. Excuse me. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Examined by Erica Armstrong, MD. Investigating agency is the Columbus Division of Police. Date of injury unknown. Injury at work, no. And this is the address of injury, and this is where how injury occurred, and this she put shot. That is the coroner's report. In a nutshell, the summary of Monique Tepe's death. Okay. This is Spencer McKee. I'm sorry, McKee, excuse me. Spencer Tepe. His autopsy report. Okay, I'm gonna just drop myself here. His autopsy report. I'm gonna cut the comments down for a minute. I think this might be a little bit better to see here. Okay. 37-year-old man. He was born December 9th, 1988. We already know the time of the date of death and the time of death. And he was examined first, 7:54. Identification, visual witness, have Erica Armstrong as a pathologist. And the autopsy assistant is Sarah Schmidt. Gunshot wounds. Look. Gunshot wounds of head, neck, trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. Homicide. He had 7 gunshot wounds. So altogether, it is 16 shots, which is basically a whole clip, right? Basically a whole clip. Same injuries. Perforated and penetrating gunshot wounds, range indeterminate. Head once, neck once, trunk 3 times, and bilateral upper extremities twice. This is why I wanted to talk about this, because the precisional injuries that occur. I mean, this man, what else is he into? I mean, because this guy, allegedly, Michael McKee, the accused, this guy's precision is off the charts. It's like a combination of his medical knowledge attached to his ability to probably shoot a firearm. Who knows? He might go to the gun range every now and again. Who knows? Who knows? Gunshot wounds, 7. Visceral injuries, brain, lungs, liver, and transverse colon. Acute subscapular and periosteal hemorrhage. Sorry, y'all. Oh, okay. April O'Neil's baby daddy. What up, though? Let's tell some ski. Acute subarachnoid hemorrhage, laceration, and pulpification pulpefaction of brain, perforation of cerebral peduncles, and partial transection of brainstem. Wow. Whoa. These are very similar. Bilateral hemothorax, skeletal injuries, fractures of cavarial, and basal skull. So the basal skull is, I think we learned about that with the what's the young lady that had the Body in the Snow documentary. O'Keefe was the officer, had the girlfriend. What was her name again? Somebody can help me out real quick. Her name is escaping me right now. The cat I will say I heard peduncles, right? Peduncles. Karen Reed, thank you, Karen Reed. Her name has escaped me. Karen Reed, thank you. We learned about basal fractures through that case because remember there was a neurosurgeon who they flew in from, I believe it was Chicago or something like that. Flew him in. I think and he got paid too. And he had to go back immediately to the airport because he had a procedure to do for someone, for a patient. And we learned about the basal skull and how it could be manipulated based upon a just like a falling of the head to the floor or hitting something that has an edge to it, or something being hit, something heavy being used to hit you, you know. So we have injuries and fractures even there. I mean, now there is no blunt force trauma that we know of in the autopsy that we saw, right? So everything is coming from the gunshot. Ribs and metacarpal bones. Okay, it talks about the external examination of the body. Clad in shorts and with a yellow metal ring on the left forefinger, photographically depicted. She was able to remove his belongings on his body to do this report. The body weighed 187 pounds and is 73 inches in length. The body is cold to the touch. There is a firm rigor of the facial muscles and extremities. Okay. She goes into the scalp. Hair is brown, short with staining with bloody fluid. See here. The chest is symmetrical, it has no palpable masses, and there are multiple wounds from which extend dry blood rivulets. Let me see something real quick. I want to see something real quick. Dry blood rivulets. Okay, according to this definition here, it says dry blood rivulets refers to small solidified streams or trickles of blood that have run down a surface, such as skin, clothing, and or an object, and subsequently dried, typically turning a dark red, brown, or brownish gray. Key characteristics in context includes appearance. They are often described as meandering, narrow, and sometimes branched, reflecting the path taken by gravity. Forensic significance. In crime scene investigation, these patterns help reconstruct events, such as the position of a body or the direction of movement. formation, they indicate that the blood was liquid slash moist at the time it flowed before drying. So basically, the initial hit or the initial wound, that the blood is freshly coming out. Then once it creates a pattern and things like that, those are the dry blood rivulets that they're referring to. Okay. It says here, okay, let's go to external and internal evidence of recent injury. This is Spencer Tepe, y'all. And if you those that are coming in, hit the like button, share this live. Also, those that are on X watching me right now, come on over to YouTube and hit the like button. I appreciate it. It says here that head, neck, trunk, and bilateral upper extremities, multiple gunshot wounds, 7, are present and are described by convention with the body in standard anatomic position. A gunshot wound is of the left ear. Okay, this is the entry wound. 3/8 round defect with eccentric pink brown marginal abrasion, widest at the 12 to 6 o'clock aspect. Okay, this right here is important. That 3/8 joint right there, that's important. That's the same measurement on Monique Tepe, which leads me to believe that when the police said that they had the gun that matched Michael McKee gun to the shell casings, it seems like they created the same measurement in the entry wound. And also they used the Nabin system to actually bring the ballistics together and say, hey, this gun matches these particular shell casings specifically. The exit wound, I'm just curious about this. I'm going to actually share these folders. You can all read these on your own as well, because I also want to get into another aspect of this case tonight. On the fossa region of the right ear is a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch irregular defect located 3 3/4 inch from the top of the head and 6 inch from the anterior midline. Lacerated cartilage protrudes from the wound. Left to right, slightly upward and without significant front to back to front deviation. So the bullet goes in the left ear, and then it comes out the fossa region of the right ear. Okay. Again, a bullet wound that goes straight through. Gunshot wound is of the left posterior lateral neck. So he got shot in the neck as well, entered into his neck, into his left side of the neck, and then exits out the right side. Left to right, back to front, upward. Then there's a gunshot wound in his left upper lateral chest, and it enters his left upper lateral chest, and it exit on the right anterior lateral chest, surrounded by irregular purple contusion. Wow. Front to back, left to right, downward. The range, I wonder the range of this shooting. Is it in close range? I'm curious if Spencer Tepe was trying to put up somewhat of a defense during this particular time. Gunshot wound on the left lower chest, and then It exits on the lateral right trunk, surrounded by irregular purple contusion, is a 3/4 by 1/4 inch irregular defect located 20.5 inches from the top of the head and 9 inches from the anterior midline, front to back, left to right, upward. Of course, there's some hemorrhaging going on as well. This is interesting right here. It says that after perforating the hemorrhaging wound path continues through the anterior left seventh rib, and with fraction and intercostal soft tissue in the soft tissue junction of the left anterior diaphragm and chest plate, transverse colon, full thickness laceration with extrusion of fecal material, y'all. Omentum, posterior left lobe of liver, posterior and anterior right lobe of liver, right diaphragm, and lateral right seventh rib. There is a 100 milliliter of liquid and clotted blood in the right perineal cavity. Again, this is a trigger warning. Viewer discretion is advised on this. Unbelievable. The exit room, again, right trunk. Entry room is his left hand, and it exits on the lateral and proximal left index finger is a 1.5 by 1/4 inch irregular defect located 27 3/4 inches from the top of the shoulder. Again, these measurements are exact. Left upper back is an entry wound. Exits on the left chest. So it makes me believe that there's some type of a fight going on here. Because the entry wound is the gunshot wound is of the left upper back. And then the exit wound is on the left chest, medial and superior to the left nipple is a 3/8 and 1/4 by 1/4 inch irregular defect located 17 inches from the top of the head and 4 and 1/4 inch from the anterior midline. So it makes it seem like there was some type of back and forth struggle, something going on, and then he got twisted, and then he shot him in the back as well. And again, I'm going to definitely share this. I have the folders. I've created the folders. I'm going to share them with you. Okay. So please bear with me on getting that to you real quick. Okay. I'm going to share this as soon as I'm done reading this coroner's report here. The next of kin for Spencer Tepe is Timothy Tepe. All right, let me go ahead and drop myself down. The immediate cause is exactly the same: wounds of the head, neck, trunk, and extremities with visceral, skeletal, and soft tissue injuries. Seconds to minutes is the time interval. Okay. Homicide, full autopsy at 7:54 a.m. on New Year's Eve. Erica Armstrong, the Columbus Division of Police, are the ones that are investigating this. And how injury occurred, shot. Seven times, Spencer Tepe was shot, and 9 times was Monique Tepe shot. Okay. Yes, this is a horrible situation. Christine, I'm sorry. Kristen, this is horrible. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to share this with you all. I'm gonna actually just share the folders that I have with the full reports in them, so you all can get a chance to actually just read them on your own time. Because I want to. also, I want to talk about the defense, because according to the way this looks here, this evidence is very damning. So what will be the narrative of the defense? What type of defense will they have? Because it seems like I'm gonna change the permissions on this folder in a second. But it seems like, according to this evidence that's taking place, it doesn't seem like this is going to there's a way to expunge him from this. Yeah, he definitely emptied the clip. He definitely emptied the clip. And his attorney, her last name is Manashi, right? And to my knowledge, she was able to, in Ohio, she was able to get a man exonerated on 16 counts of murder. Like, clean sweep, not guilty on all of them. Clean sweep. This is the type of lawyer that he has. All right. This is the type of lawyer that he has. And I'm like, whoa, this is big time stuff right here. Look, at the arraignment, she skipped bail. Like, don't even worry about the bond. We pass him through all that. We'll deal with some other stuff later, but we're not doing anything. We just want to make sure we get a future date to do some other stuff, and then we out. That's basically how that went. That first time he got arraigned, that's how that went. Like, straight up, man. So she's not gonna play no games. She's not gonna play no games. That's for sure. So I'm very interested to see how the defense create a narrative or to create a story or a defense on this. Again, shout out to Shelee once again, even though I know she went away for a minute, but she blessed your boy with a $20 cash app earlier. I do appreciate it. And I wanted to send her some more love and say thank you once again for doing that. You're very, very kind and very, very sweet of you to do that. People don't have to be kind to you. People don't have to do anything for you. So anytime you support us, as far as us, when I say us, I mean people on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. When you support us, it means a lot, and I don't take it for granted at all. I'm a big proponent of supporting others as well. You know, I always support. If I'm on Katnot Williams' channel, I'm watching her do something, I'm supporting her. If I'm watching AV to the 7th Power doing something, you know, I'll support her. You know, if it's the lead, I support it. If it's anyone live, I'm gonna try to support him, because it's hard. It's difficult to try to do this at times especially when you're working. You know, your boy work, man. I'm a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? Your boy work. You know what I mean? And sometimes your boy be tired from work. You feel me? But we push through. We definitely push through. I want to get into the fact that Michael McKee was recently, and we're going to end it here, but he was recently booked at the Franklin County Jail. And I want us to take a look at something specific that we've all been looking at, that we've all been trying to figure out. And so let's go ahead and play this here. This is your boy Vinny Palatine. And they're going over the booking, the new booking footage that came out for Michael McKee. Here we go.
Same home where this couple got married. And now we're learning the suspect is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe. Let's bring in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. Now, Cody, we are now seeing video of the suspect. Tell me, what does this video show us?
Yeah, Vinny, we got new video of Michael McKee getting booked into the Franklin County Jail in Ohio on January 20th. Now, in this video, you'll see him getting searched. He's walking in hallways. They remove his clothes. They ask him to open his mouth at one point. But throughout all this, Vinny, you'll get to see his demeanor after getting booked, as he's getting booked into this jail. Take a look.
Okay, now they're going to play some music when they are watching this, when we watch this. So I'm going to put this on mute right now. And I just want you to look at the way he walks. The way he walks. Okay, take a look at this. His demeanor, his entire body language. I mean, besides the camera, the footage is muted anyway. It's no sound. It's just footage. And so, but I don't have a copyright to whatever song or music that they're playing in the background, so I'm going to mute this. But take a look at this. As he walks in, hands in his pocket. He walks in. Hold on, let me slow it down just a little bit because I don't want to go. I want us to look at this in real time. Okay. He's being searched at this point, removing his clothing. And this is where they're going to search him. Okay. You know, and again, he's coming in there very calm. He walking in there like he's going to Marshall's or I mean, he walking in like he about to go sit down at a restaurant somewhere. Like he owns the place. Exactly. Okay. Like exactly. Like he owns the place. He walking in like he owned the place. Like, all right, what can I do for you guys? Right. Oh, shout out to long-time listener, first-time caller, Melton's. I'm just gonna say Melton's. I'm just gonna say Melt. All right. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for sure. Thank you so much. Yep, cocky. What else do you all have? You say cocky, like he owns the place. All right. What other demeanor do you think he has as you pay attention to this? I mean, Liaby. Okay. Melton Liaby. Melton's Liaby. All right. Got you. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. Man. This is where they're searching his mouth. They were searching his hair and stuff like that. Right. Unlike Alibi. Got you. Got you. Thank you for that correction. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I mean, they getting them booked in, right? They searching them head to toe. Good old police. What would we do without them? Yeah, get your socks on me. Now, look at his walk. Look at this walk. Very distinctive walk, right? Look at this walk. He walking like he about to go to a business meeting. Look at this. Walking like, look at this. Now they're giving us a front shot. Very sure of himself. Look at that. So sure of himself. Cool, calm, and collected. Cool, calm, and collected. Like nothing happening, right? Now, before we finish this out, I want to show you a side-by-side video. Okay. I'm going to remove this and add this. All right. This is a side-by-side video. All right. That I wanted to show you. This is the video that they sent us as the public, They sent us this. Now, this is just a silhouette of a guy, no face, nothing but his walk. And this is behind the houses on 4th Street, on North 4th Street. Okay. This is a camera footage of another house seeing this man walk past between a certain time of the night, between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to do a side by side on the walk distinctively. Here we go. Look at this walk. Hands in the pocket. All right. Hands in his pocket. Hands in his pocket. He got that right leg. Now the main difference that I see is that in one footage his head is down and one his head is up, allegedly, but his head is down because he don't want to be seen. Ain't that something? So here it is. We have footage of him walking in the not too far from the Tepe's home. This is allegedly him. Okay, this is allegedly him. And then you see him walking in. Now you see Michael McKee is actually in the jail, right? He's actually walking. He's walking like this guy that is got the hood on. It's a distinctive walk, not a care in the world. A distinctive walk. Shout out to Cavs. That's perfect. Not a care in the world, man. Okay? A very distinctive walk. I find that very fascinating when it comes to the fact that we can't see this face. So this person A, who we saw first, we can't see his face. We just see his walk. Now we got a little bit of glimpse of the walk of Michael McKee's walk when he was in Illinois and he was in court in Illinois. And I think it was Winnebago County. And that was his extradition hearing, which he did waive his extradition. And that's why he's in Ohio. So we got a little bit of that wobble. Wobble. Shake it, right? We got a little bit of that wobble, dog. And then it's a little bit of that right leg kind of swing a little weird. When almost like he don't have a little balance. He's trying to catch himself a little bit. Yeah, man. It's not, I can't say it's exactly him, but dog. Like, I mean, if he was walking up the street, I would know exactly who that is. Like, yeah, that's Michael, man. That's Eminem. That's Michael McKee, bro. That's Eminem right there. There was a dude, I'm from Detroit. So when I grew up in Detroit, there was a dude named Tony who lived down the street from the house that I grew up in. He had a sister named Tina. We always used to go down her house and play football. And her brother, Tony, he had a bob so crazy. We knew it was him in the hood. We knew it was him. From way down the street, like, yeah, there go Tony. Tony coming down the street. And we used to always mess with him because he was very quiet, but he was cool in the mug. But we knew him by his walk. That walk is very distinctive. And even though the guy in the hoodie, we don't know who that is definitively, but Michael McKee walking in that jail to get booked gave us enough of a sample size for us to at least see that, yeah, I think there's some very close similarities there. All right. Very close similarities. Here we go.
Given the circumstances, he seems very calm in that situation there. Now, we know that he arrived at the Franklin County Jail 10 days after he was initially booked into custody in Illinois. And as you could probably see during that video, we can't really tell what he's saying to deputies if he's saying anything at all.
Yeah, but you're right. He seems like he knows the routine. He's very comfortable, like oddly comfortable. This was a vascular surgeon now being searched and held in jail, which brings us to the first question in our investigation tonight. Did Michael McKee expect to be arrested? Joining me, psychotherapist, CEO of Life Counseling Solutions, Dr. Janie Lacey, and former homicide detective, more than 20 years working homicides and high-profile cases. Phil Waters is with us. Phil, I want to start with you because you've dealt with a lot of these characters who've been arrested. What are your thoughts? You can tell me in general about people you've arrested, whether or not like they were expecting it, and then any opinions you have about this particular defendant based upon all the circumstances and what we just saw there 10 days after the arrest.
Well, it's good to be back with you, Vinny. I tell you, I don't find his demeanor in this setting terribly surprising. I think anyone that I have spoken with, that I've interviewed, that I've had in that room talking to them, I think everyone that commits an act like this has an expectation that they are going to get caught, even if they think they've committed the perfect crime. So I don't find his demeanor terribly surprising, because at this point in time, he's resigned to the fact that he is where he is. And I don't think it's any surprise to him. So he's cooperating. It looks like he has a little, I don't know if he's got an itch or something there, or his nose is running or something, but he says something to one of the jailers and about why he's moving around. So I don't find the behavior in this setting terribly surprising.
Let me ask you, Dr. Janie Lacey, it's always difficult when we get into the area of trying to get into the mind of someone accused of an extremely horrific crime like this. But we live in a day and age with, extremely incredible DNA, ballistics, and video evidence and license plate readers and everything else from coast to coast. Do you think that this doctor expected to get arrested?
Vinny, based on everything we're seeing in this case, I believe that Michael absolutely did not expect to be arrested. And I say this because this speaks to a particular profile that we see in individuals who commit these high calculated crimes. So here's what tells me this, right? He left his phone at the hospital for 17 hours, Vinny, from December 29th through noon of December 30th, I believe. And that is not impulsive behavior. That's a surgeon's precision applied to something horrific. He believed he outsmarted everyone. And the reason why I say that, when we look at some of the facts that are released, he returned to work. He went back to his job as a surgeon as if nothing happened. And that's not behavior of someone who thinks they're about to get caught. That's someone who believes they're executed a flawless plan. And then I believe it was Jay Fulton who had said that he thought he was the smartest person in the room in whatever room he walks into. That is grandiosity, Vinny, at its finest. It's exactly what we see in narcissistic perpetrators who believe they're above consequences. And the last comment I'll make with the video just showed, with that calm demeanor, when he appeared also in the courtroom, I believe, he was also just zero emotion. He appeared almost bored. And that's someone to me who believed that he's in control.
Okay, who do you agree with? This is interesting that they both have different perspectives. My man Phil is saying, listen, he's looking like, that he expected to get caught. He cool with it. He's cool. He's calm. That looks like a man that knew he was going to get caught. And then she's like, oh, he did not think he was going to get caught. Because the question is, did Michael McKee think he was going to get arrested? And Phil is saying, yeah, I think he thought that. And then old girl saying, no. He didn't think he was getting arrested. And then she dropped some facts. She read that affidavit. He left his phone for 17 hours untouched. All right. Untouched. No activity between December 29th and then December 30th. Yeah. She's bringing in some facts of the case, and then of course, you don't expect to get arrested when you're trying to get away with it. That's the whole point of him trying to get away. He was trying to get away with it. That's why he left his phone. That's why you don't see anything about fingerprints, but you do see something about shell casings and things of that nature. A gun. Okay. He had swapped the license plate. That's a man that's trying not to get caught. So no, he didn't think he was going to get arrested. I agree with her too. Yeah, very calculated. Very, very calculated. I definitely agree with her. Like, Phil was out of bounds on this one. Like, he did not expect to get caught or arrested. He did not expect. It reminds me of the young lady in Alabama who said she lied about seeing a white child on the side of the highway and then she got kidnapped. She faked her own kidnapping when she was literally at Red Roof Inn, chilling, eating Cheetos. I forgot that young lady name. And then she came home and acted like she got that she escaped the kidnapper, because the news story got so large that she could not fake it anymore. So she came back home as if nothing happened. What is that girl's name? Oh man, I gotta get this real quick. Hold on. Carly Russell. Do y'all remember Carly Russell? Faked the kidnapping in Alabama. Carly Russell, a nursing student from Hoover, who in July 2020 claimed she was abducted after stopping for a toddler on the highway, but later admitted she fabricated the story, leading to charges of making false police reports. In March 2024, she pleaded guilty, received probation, community service, and was ordered to pay restitution for the wasted resources from the extensive search, avoiding jail time. And she claimed that she was trying to help a child on the side of the road on the highway. And then came back to try to do damage control. and then they found her out. The story got too big. She knew she was going to get found out, so she had to backtrack with the quickness. This reminds me of that in part. This story was getting big, and the reason what happened in this case, the chief of police went to the news. She held a press conference. She had a conference, but she had the news. She had the news first. Everybody did not feel safe. Why? Because they're in the suburban area of Wayland Park. This don't happen in Wayland Park. That's basically what they're saying. This don't happen in Wayland Park. We don't get these type of things. Double homicide with kids inside. A wellness check that goes wrong on the first visit because it's at the wrong house and it's concerning children. Then they kept calling the police. And then the dispatcher wasn't comprehending what the person was saying all the way up until the young man got in the house and said, "Oh my God, I found my friend and he's unalived. He's dead." Once the story started rolling, now it's like national news. And McKee thought that he was going to get away with murder. Allegedly. He allegedly thought he was going to get away with murder. Okay. Did he expect it? He wasn't trying to expect it. He didn't think it was going to happen, but he was doing everything he could not to get arrested. Brother, this calculation you did wasn't right. It wasn't right. You didn't calculate. You didn't put your calculations together. It wasn't right.
Phil, have you had the opportunity in all your experience to interrogate or interview or interact with a suspect of this level of profession and intellect? And, the guy's a vascular surgeon. You don't just kind of like stumble into that. It takes a certain level of whatever drive, intelligence, whatever it is. And how do you think that's going to play into all of this?
Well, the answer to your question is yes. I have spoken to these people that think they're the smartest people in the room. And of course, they've done what they thought they needed to do to not be held accountable for what they have done. So again, with all due respect to Dr. Lacey, I see his demeanor as a typical sociopath. That's a guy that in his mind, he's justified in what he did. And I don't look at that as being a sign of arrogance. I mean, you talk to some of these folks that have been arrested years after they've committed a murder, 30, 40 years. And almost to every one of them, they say, I knew this day was coming. So in his intellectual mind, he may have convinced himself that, I may have gotten away with this, but I think in his real head, in his sociopathic head, he knows that this day is coming. He's going to be held accountable.
What's that change in life going to be like for him, Dr. Lacey, going from the vascular surgeon, the surgeon when you're in the room, you're in charge. He's no longer in charge wherever he is. He's like the low man on the totem pole now.
Well, we'll definitely see that play out. But what we'll see with people with his profile is they learn to compartmentalize. So he has to probably live in a certain world in his mind in order to day by day move through, right? When they have this pathological entitlement. And when we see that, they try to, wherever they go, be the biggest person in the room. So I would imagine he will continue to have that type of profile, that compartmentalization, where in his mind, he may see himself one way, but like my co-panelist said, in reality, it will be very different, Vinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very different. Very, very different. I'm gonna stop it right there. Very, very different. He definitely it reminds me this kind of when she said the smart, well, he said smartest person in the room, and she said something about being the biggest person in the room. It kind of reminded me of the movie, the Nuremberg movie with Russell Crowe that just came out with Rami Malek, and how he was able to move Rami's character the way he needed and wanted to, using charisma. The problem is that, see, I can't go sociopath with my man, because most sociopaths have a level of charismata or charisma. And from what we're gathering from people who know him, and also the icebreaker, the girlfriend that we saw, the ex-girlfriend of Michael McKee, it's in the beginning of his live if you're watching it now. She describes him as an introvert and kind of boring. Okay? So kind of boring means that's the opposite of entertaining. So she like a guy who is an entertaining type, not like a song and dance and, dance puppet, not like that, but just a person who engages in in-depth stuff, in-depth conversations and things like that. So the fact that he did not have any charisma, and then he had the stalking thing, and to keep that type of energy for 8 years, okay, that sounds like more of a psychopathy than sociopathy. Okay, so when I'm thinking about him, and then he has a level of, according to the affidavit, he had a level of abuse that Monique experienced, okay, that is associated with a psychopath. When you look at most of your serial killers of old, the John Wayne Gacy's of the world, and the, all them, Ted Bundy's, all them, there was some type of sexual fantasy type of thing associated with their murders, if you will. And they used a lot of charm to allure you in. Okay, a lot of charm. And it doesn't seem, and Michael McKee does not seem like the charming type, according to the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend. Okay, so this is interesting on his demeanor walking into the booking, as if it's almost like this is, this is fine with me. I'm good here, like it came off that way a bit, right? So shout out to the chat though. I appreciate you all chiming in with your boy, but it just seemed a little off. It seems a little off the way he comes into the jail. I mean, I've been arrested before, and I ain't walking in like that. I I tell you that for real. I did not walk in like that. I didn't walk in scary either, but I was just even, you know what I'm saying? I did twice. I was just even, like, you know, and I had to turn myself in the second time, but I was just even with it, like, yo, excuse me, it is what it is. Hey, I'm here, I'm in the building. I'm about to go through this so I can go ahead and clear my name and get all this stuff situated. And that's what I was able to do, thank God. But I'm telling you, when you go into jail for the first time ever, like this is the first time he's ever been like arrested like this. He walking in like that, man, look, that's crazy. That's crazy. He walking in with that much confidence, I would say. Shout out again to She Lee for supporting the show tonight. $20 cash app. I appreciate you so much. So much for that. And it's so good to see you too. She Lee been handling her business with family and things like that, and I won't say her business or nothing like that, but I'm telling you, she always supported the show, always have since the YSL days, supported the show. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it so much. Shout out to my girl Jakisha in the building. She made a cameo appearance last time we was live. Shout out to Jersey girl Trey. We got Kristen Vasquez in the building. We also got my man Cavs in the building. April O'Neil's baby daddy came through in the building. Of course, Katnau Williams came through in the building. Milton's Liabai came in the building as well. Long time listener, first time caller. All right. We gotta hit it with
really?
Okay. Oh, really? Let's go. And listen, I apologize for butchering some of those words in that autopsy report. All right. I'm telling you, some of that was catching me off guard, and it is what it is. But by the way, speaking of that, let me go ahead and get the let's go ahead and get this for you all. I want to be able to share this with you. Let's see here. I think I'm just going to share the whole folder. I mean, might as well, because the folder. So I have two subfolders in the main folder. I have the folder of the Tepe murders also, but I also have the subfolders for the autopsy reports. So you'll be able to see those. Okay. Let me go ahead and do some management stuff real quick here. On this, and let me know and let me know what you all think of this. Sometimes you can leave some comments here and on live shows like this and give some feedback on what you think when it comes to this particular case. I personally think right now, at this point, at this very moment, I think right now that my man is hit. It ain't looking good for him. It ain't looking good for him. Everything points to him, like straight up. I'm just keeping it a buck. Like it just do. Again, we don't know what other type of what the defense has though, but on the prosecution side, seems like they got a pretty solid case, and they have like geofencing and all that kind of stuff. They got the area in which he was at, and they have his car associated with with his current address and an old address of his. He had swap plates a bunch of times while he was there 3 weeks before going back there to actually execute the plan. I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot, man. And my man is on one, man. All right. Tepe murder. All right, I'm sending the link into the chat. All right, sending the link into the chat. All right, I'm sending the link into the chat. Those of you that can click that link for me real quick to make sure that you're able to access it, just to confirm it, so that way, if I need to make any changes, I can make them now. But I was going to share this whole folder on my X account. However, I think I'm going to try to not do that. I think I'm going to try to hone in more so on YouTube and try to use X for something else. I think Katna Williams gave me some advice on how to try to revamp the X account a little bit, and I think I might try to execute that. I just haven't had the time to, but I think I'm going to try to execute some of the advice that Katna Williams gave me. Okay, my wife says it works. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, so you all should be able to click that link. It gives you the folder, access to the folder. So everything under that folder, you're going to have access to. You'll have access to the toxicology report, autopsy reports as well. I have them again. I have them in specified subfolders. And also there is, I got a couple of cases from Michael McKee in the past, recent past, where he was accused of malpractice. Okay. And something about not training one of his staff members, and they left an 8-inch needle for the catheter in them when they were not supposed to. It's wild. It's wild. It's a malpractice lawsuit, and also the medical malpractice amended complaint is in there as well. These are cases from 2024 where he was accused of malpractice and not properly training one of his staff members. Man, it's kind of crazy. And I got a few other things. I know, right? It's nonstop, ain't it? Like, and I got a few other things too in here. I got the not guilty plea in here as well. Of course, the affidavit, prosecutors that are assigned to this case as well. I got the PDF for that. So just a few interesting things in here so far. We're building up this particular folder. So at some point it'll have more information, but shout out to the Franklin County Coroner's Office though, for giving me the actual autopsy on the scene. For real. We're on the same day, Oh, and also I have the side by side that I showed, the video that I showed you, this video here. That I showed you. I also have it in that folder as well. Okay, so you should be able to see it, man. So again, I appreciate everybody working with your boy tonight. Thank you so much. I wanted to go live tonight, and I wanted to, talk to Biz Nation, man. I want to say I love you all. I thank you all for your support. I appreciate you. Hey, yo, it's Super Bowl weekend. All right, Super Bowl weekend. You got the New England Patriots, the new era of the New England Patriots versus the new era of the Seahawks. And the Seahawks and the Patriots, it has the same exact feel from 2015 when they played in the Super Bowl, okay, against each other. And that's the year that Marshawn Lynch on a 2nd and 1, all right, in the red zone, he was supposed to get the football. Pete Carroll switched it and threw a pass instead of going for it all 4 downs just with the run, or at least swapping the 3rd down with a pass and then going for it on 4th. It was the most terrible play ever, and Malcolm Butler is the one that intercepted the football at the 1-yard line. Unbelievable. The Seahawks was the Legion of Boom, and now the defense kind of mimics that. Same way with the New England Patriots. They would kind of remind me of that year's team as well. However, Drake May, Sam Darnold, JSN, Stephon Diggs, Kenneth Walker. I mean, they got us. Hey, this is going to be a good game, though. I mean, I know it's not our favorite teams now, but seems like it's going to be a good game, and I'm leaning towards the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks is going to at some point dominate on defense at some point, you know. But I also think that Mike Vrabel is lethal when it comes to blitz packaging. And I think that if you put more, if they might blitz a little bit more, I think, because normally the Seahawks don't have to necessarily blitz because their front four is phenomenal. All right. They just put pressure on everybody. But the blitz packages for the New England Patriots, they might show differently on Sunday. And I think there's a bag of tricks that Vrabel is gonna get into and execute. But we'll see, man. But I'm going for the Seahawks. I hope the Seahawks win. I'm not a Patriots fan at all. I don't care if it is a new coach and a new era and you still got Josh McDaniels there. It's still the same OC that was when he won them other Super Bowls. And, you know, it's the Patriots. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. But nonetheless, Cavs 83 said Russell Wilson should have audibles and gave it to Beast Mode. Exactly. I would if I'm Russell Wilson, I'm not listening to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's logic was go for it on the run on first down. And then his logic was we're going to pass it on second down so that way we can do a play action if possible on third down or just run it to beast mode for the rest of the downs. And then that was his game plan. He said he thought about that game plan ahead of the whole time. Why? Why would you do that? That's not good football. That's not good football. You run into beast mode. You go into 13 personnel. You just handle business. Go to 13 personnel and run the football in the gut. Run it in the gut or run it in the B gap. Do something on the weak side because there wasn't a lot of defenders on that side at the time. He threw it on the strong side. So that's your fault. That's your fault. Yep. 13 personnel, run it at that boy and be good. Go home. All right. Anyway, let me start talking about football, man. I go into it. I'm your boy Tay Biz, man. Thank you all so much once again for the live, man, being a part of the live. And I'm gonna try to go live more often. It's just my schedule is kind of hard, it's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna try to do this more often, man. But I appreciate you and I love you. You all have a great night.
I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my daddy. Know how I'm coming. And they know what we hate. Run around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN. Working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out. Cause all of my hitters too deep in. With the boy, I'm so ashamed. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fake. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that Lily before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty dick as humid air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in